Hello, hello. Yeah, thank you, con artist. Yeah, it's horrible. It's like really sad. Um, Very sad. How are you doing? Yeah, my rooster was Snowden, and the weird thing is that this is how I know that it's a little suspect. Not all of them, because I know a raccoon did get into the chicken coop a couple of times. Um, but it was always like when I was in the cats building, vacuuming or something, and I would come out and hear them cackling and stuff. So, I mean, I know the way they operate around here, so they wanted to always make it appear as if it's something else when it's them. So, and also, when the coop is locked, how did two birds get out? So, they were taken out, but it's sad nevertheless. How are you doing? Is the hi 1 2 has creepy voice joined us yet? Has creepy joined us yet? When I replayed last week, I realized that the creepy voice was speaking before I even said a word. It used to be like creepy voice would join us around like 20 minutes in, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour in, and now he's he's here before I am. Oh, you hear the creepy voice? Hi, G Rod. Oh, do you have a live stream? What is your channel? Yeah, the creepy voice is it's mechanical. It has to be on my end. It's just another way for them to annoy me and annoy you guys. Oh, your gang stalking session. Oh, those are daily. The noise campaigns. And what they do around here is, because it's a rural area, so they will, like, in the distance, start revving up their engines. Like, it almost sounds like they're growling, that the engines are growling. It's just so stupid. It's just so immature. It just kind of reminds me of junior high school. You only have those kids in the back of the room trying to get everybody's attention. Oh, oh yeah, I have it. I have it. I have that short. Some of them actually aren't shorts. Some of them are a little bit longer than shorts. I don't know why. It's weird because some of them should not be shorts, but they turn up as like a regular video, and then some of them are shorts. Hi, River Bluff. Welcome, welcome. Let me go find that the firework. I mean, there's just so many of them. Yes, absolutely. Yes, I tried to take my neighbors to court for a restraining order and for them to pay for the damages to the gate that they tore out. And it was like a kangaroo court. It was ridiculous. This was like 3 4 years ago. Yeah, about 4 years ago. Yeah, and the criminals are listening, like they're revving up the engines outside. They have to be on call. Okay, so you tried to do something similar, and they did that way before you started to notice the gang stalking. Yeah, it is. Well, and also, like, I don't know if it would be different if I weren't in this small rural town where everybody knows each other. I mean, look at what happened in Lecter County. The sheriff shoots the judge, and they're making all kinds of weird excuses for it, thinking he's some kind of a hero. They denied your restraining order. Yeah, the plausible exactly. They give plausible deniability new definition. I mean, there it's every day. It's something several times a day. Whether it's mail being diverted, packages showing up late, damaged, my checkbook register being stolen. Like, how would they even know where it is? That's how you know when you're being surveilled. But I know other people that have written to Homeland Security and the fusion centers, and they get the same kind of ridiculous response as I did. Let's see. Has anyone seen the Kyle Odom story? No, I don't. I don't know who that is. Yeah, the revving of the engines, like that's supposed to be like intimidating or something. I don't know. It just kind of reminds me of junior high school. It also reminds me of like my daughter's friends when they were getting their new cars. That's what they would do. They would rev up the engines and try to race each other. And I remember them doing it once, and they actually got into an accident, and I witnessed it. Small town Kentucky they have much to keep. Yes, yeah. Oh yes. Oh, oh, this is the latest in Kentucky. Like we're like, I don't know. So so evidently there's this woman named Lakin, and she was a University of Kentucky cheerleader. Very pretty girl, blonde hair. Looks very narcissistic and whatever. Well, evidently she gets pregnant. She's 21, by the way. She gets pregnant, delivers the baby, and then decides she's gonna wrap the baby up in a plastic bag and stuff it in her closet. Yeah, so that's kind of been in the news a little bit. Other people are picking it up, and then yeah, I mean, it must be that her parents have some influence because they were able to bail her out for $100,000. Um, yes, that would be fine, G Rod. That would be fine. Hi, Daniel. Welcome. Welcome. Well, remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in. I mean, there are more people. There are a lot of people that listen. I know a couple of my friends don't get into the live chat, but they'll listen in on the over the phone. Hi, the snow. Welcome. Yeah, the Dukes of Hazard. Well, it has been described. This county where I live has been described as the Wild Wild West. It was described like that to me by somebody who knows the county. And then another person who had actually worked here said, when they heard like some slander about me, the person said, "Yo, oh, you'll never get any justice in this county. You're gonna have to go somewhere else to file a lawsuit. You'll never get justice in this county." He said he was in gangsters and said they were reptilian. Now, see, I don't know. I hear about this stuff, and it doesn't mean I'm not open minded about the reptiles and stuff like that. And I do see how some of the elites, like, they seem to shapeshift, and you could see something bizarre in their eyes, and you just have to wonder if maybe their DNA is mixed with something else. That when they join, the Black Eye Club, that maybe something happens to them. I just don't know. And the same thing with the aliens. Like when people start talking about aliens, it's like I this is just my opinion, and I don't know because I haven't done any research, but to me the aliens are our government. Our government is the aliens. And any kind of Bigfoot or weird thing that you find in the forest is just our experiments gone awry. They have to do something with all these cloning things that they what do they do with these experiments? They let them loose in the ocean and the forests and stuff. That's it. That's the word. High targeted ones. Chimeras. Yeah, like it was definitely not AI. I saw like a documentary on YouTube about mermaids. And there was this one place where it really did look like a real mermaid, like a very angry mermaid. And I don't think that that's naturally occurring. So Canada says here in New Zealand, Masonic towns here are very old fashioned. They have very few modern buildings, dull in color, dull vibe. Yeah, it's dull here too. Yes, they're way too evil to simply just be human. Well, I don't know. They're just demonic. I think that many of these people grow into these satanic cult families, and it's generation after generation. And there have been testimonies, whistleblower testimonies. Hi, Kevin. Welcome. Of people that have grown up in these families. So it's sort of like growing up in an Amish family, or growing up in Scientology, or growing up in the Mormon families. These are generational families, and they don't know anything more than what they grew up with. This is normal to them. But I mean, it's all evil. Anybody that grows up in a family where you are taught to harm other people, whether or not it's for profit or sadism, whatever it is, that at some point you get to an age where you must realize that that's not the way the whole world works. Although actually lately it seems like high forethought, they're zombies. Yeah, I've mentioned that. I've mentioned that before. That the gangstalkers are the zombies. That they are the zombie apocalypse. That everybody always refers to the zombie apocalypse. It's the gangstalkers. And I hate that terminology, gangstalkers, but even Ted Gunderson in his affidavit and his testimony, he uses the terminology gang stalking, organized stalking. So it is a thing, and in Stasi Germany it was gang stalking. So of course here in the United States, anybody that uses that terminology is delusional. We're delusional for speaking the truth. So welcome everybody. How's everybody doing? I mean, the weather here got cold. We had our first rain yesterday in probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 days, and then it got really heavy, and now it's supposed to actually drop into the 40s tonight. Hi, Jill. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Oh, it's horrible. It's actually been since it actually was in New Jersey also. They were attacking my cats in New Jersey. Um, in New Jersey, they suffocated my chinchilla and they snapped the neck of a canary. And yes, in a house full of cats, I had a canary. Hi, the snow. Yes, that's it. SRA. That's exactly right. It's satanic ritual abuse and trauma-based mind control. It's MK Ultra, COINTELPRO, all wrapped up with all the new technology. It does. It does. And when I saw the male guinea yesterday, all alone in the field, like walking around all by himself, it was so heartbreaking because they have little companions that they hang out with, and they're so happy together. They chase each other around, they do their little mating dance, and he was there all by himself. And it was just so heartbreaking. Oh, it's horrible. Like, I've complained before that, a lot of cats have been dumped on my property, and I don't like it. And the last thing I wanted was kittens, but they're adorable, and you start caring for them, and they're just the sweetest little things. Like, I love them; they're so cute. And when somebody hurts them, it really it's beyond like feeling angry. It's like, how can anybody do that to a kitten? A perfectly healthy kitten, and also knowing that the mama cat is watching her babies get sick and die. They're so disgusting, so cruel, so sadistic. But some other targeted people have sent me photos. Oh, thank you, Jill. Oh, it's so sad, especially when they lose like their little mates and stuff. I mean, how sadistic is it? When I moved all of these cats to Kentucky from New Jersey, and within the first 3 or 4 days that I was here, 4 cats were stolen. Imagine the trauma those cats experience. First, I have to pluck them from their homes that they're aware that they're familiar with. So most of them were rescued as feral cats and then socialized in my house. I drive them all the way here, being secluded in pet carriers, then bring them into a pod, a building, and then to have them stolen. They killed your dog. Yeah, I know. I've heard that from other targeted people that they'll give their pets either away or to another family member to care for. Yes. It's actually easier to socialize the feral cats than people tell you. And it depends on, it's sort of like humans. Um, there are feral cats that are feral only because They lost their way and ended up outside. And then when you rescue them, they're easy to socialize. Or if they have babies outside, then that's sort of like the first generation of feral cats. And, if they keep continue having babies outside, then you get second generation, third, fourth generation of feral cats, but you can still um, socialize them. You might not be able to pick them up. You might not be able to really pet them and cuddle them, but you never know. Conrad says at this time, God said, "Anyone shedding man's blood by man with his own blood be shed, for in God's image be he made man." And okay, so before that, yes, hi bandwagon. They want you isolated. Well, of course they do. We're experiments. We're being experimented on, and they want us isolated because they don't want anybody to see and witness and validate what you're experiencing. So actually, there are a lot of targeted people that have pets that also rescue animals. A lot of people don't talk about it. There was this one person that I spoke with. I'm gonna say maybe back in 2018. Yeah, it was when I was still in New Jersey. He contacted PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. Hi, SDL. Welcome, welcome. Um, and he actually met with them. And then what ended up happening was that PETA backed off. I think they got threatened. Sort of like when I contacted PETA a few years ago, they seemed very interested, said that they've heard like my kind of story across the United States. And then they just backed off also. But you don't hear about them much in the news anymore because I think they're targeted. Let's see, Jill says, my targeting started because a friend who was gang stalked gave me up to get him off the list. At the same time, dated a malignant narcissist, very evil, always gang stalked. So I learned later, then I was a whistleblower on cops. Yes, please hit the like button, hit the thumbs up. Thanks for thanks for the reminder. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. So anybody who's new who wants to provide a testimony, it could either be done in writing where you email me, and it doesn't all have to be in one email. Sort of like Deborah Florian. It's hard to remember all these details, and it's painstaking, and it's emotionally draining, and some people don't want to rehash things. So if you want to write it out, if you want to do a phone interview, we can do that. Although, I'm on Eastern Standard Time, so a lot of times the time zones don't work out. If you see something, say something. Do not say anything. That's how I got on the list. That's that's probably right. It's probably right. Like reporting crime, like Edward Snowden says, if reporting a crime is treated as having committed a crime, you are ruled by criminals. And yes, that's what we're ruled by criminals because when we report crimes, we're delusional. We're delusional. We're schizophrenic. Oh, we're crazy. River Bluff says being a Christian means following the teachings of Jesus. Perps don't follow Jesus. Well, that's true. Yep, seem to have stepped on somebody's toes. That's what they say. You know, you piss somebody off, you stepped on somebody's toes, if somebody's envious or jealous, you have a business that it threatens perhaps theirs. Let's see, Jill says, I could write a book called Living in Fucktardia. They stole 90% of my notes, journals, and documentation. But thank you, STL. Welcome. Yeah. 100%. Sadly, I've read about TIs throwing other people under the bus, fellow T. That's true. Oh, that's absolutely true. Because you remember, just remember that just because somebody is a targeted person doesn't mean that they were always good in a past life, you know? And when I say past life, I mean before targeting. You know, people get targeted for all kinds of reasons. And this is not against anybody who has addiction issues, but addicts are like master liars. Um, you know, a lot of times when you hear a testimony of an addict who has not been through a program for, you know, for years and years, they're still stuck in that addict mindset. And I believe that some of the targeted people in whether the you want to call it a community or whatever that have addiction issues may be of the type that would sell out another targeted person. Let's see. Riverblood says Jill at Jill BWTTRW, then Rednecktopia. Do you have people riding their lawnmower down the street with mufflers? Oh no, we've got four wheelers. They drive their four wheelers, their motorcycles. Started with Gate in the 1980s. Well, that's what Ted Gunderson says, that this has been going on since the 1980s. Oh, okay, so he was addicted to drugs. Okay. I mean, that's unfortunate. You know, I've studied addiction. I'm not an addict. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke, drink, or do drugs. But I've studied addiction, and I've spoken with addicts, and they're really good liars. They had to lie and lie and lie to get their drugs every day. They would steal from their own parents. They'd steal from their best friends, and they'll lie about it. There was an ad here on YouTube for people being gangsta. Oh, really? Really? Well, that's so interesting. There was an ad on YouTube for people being gang stalked. Oh, that is really interesting. Data fishers. Well, they're like junior high school. It's not only just stupid pranks. You know, like even Kay Griggs, the former wife of a military guy, said that these military guys are immature, they're perverts, they love to play pranks, they're mostly bisexual, and they hate women. Hi, John. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I think I saw Dr. Paul Bacho was a DARPA whistleblower on cell tower weaponry in 1987 in Tampa, Florida. I think I saw him interviewed somewhere. And Jill says, "Oh, they all turned into gang stalkers. 90 of the homeless that you helped." Well, that's their goal. Their goal is to destroy your life, steal, because they think that they're trying to play God. Hi, CM, Ponca City, Oklahoma, original pioneer woman here. Hi, welcome, welcome. Oh, you can. Why you can't post on Facebook? No one can see what I post. Are they shadow? They're shadow banning you? Connor says regarding data centers located at the North Pole, ready for absolute surveillance. The new order. Okay, so you moved to Gab and Rumble. Okay. More and more people are speaking out about it. There's a fairly new YouTube creator, a female, and she does a lot of shorts, and it's called Gang Stalking Explained. And she posts like two or three or five little shorts about gang stalking, educational. Um, it's pretty good. I like it. Yeah, Quora is a good place. Reddit. I don't know anything about Avalon. This is the first time I'm hearing of it. The North Pole is prime location for data centers because they get free energy, geothermal, and free cooling. Data centers need massive cooling systems. I heard that. Yes, yes. Gang stalking is about to go tenfold. Hi, Nick. Welcome. Why do you say that? Is there a reason? Is it just there are more people unemployed that will be? Let's see. They suppressed it for so long. Now let us talk. Well, it's true. Oh, Palantir. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Well, the surveillance. You saw a report from someone in China. Their symptoms decreased significantly. Yeah, yeah. Palantir is the devil. It's evil. Yes, regarding tech, which is all linked to targeted. Yeah, it is. That is exactly. Well, they're already warning people. They're even warning people who work at Amazon that they're going to be losing their jobs within the next year. Yeah, Palantir is the devil. A Big Brother has been watching for decades. I just didn't know it. There's a song. I think it was back in the 70s about the eye in the sky looking at you. Chinese created their high tech super bombs. These bombs speed 25 times the speed of sound. Alan Parsons, that's it. The eye in the sky. And then there were other musicians that kind of referenced knowing there was something else. And then there's, the police, every breath you take. Yeah, it is overwhelming, Jill. Jill says, I'm overwhelmed at all the info I'm getting in this awakening. Lots of holes to go down. I'm bursting with information. Yeah, well, they don't like us knowing information either, right? But there are more and more people. I think it seems to have exploded during, the lockdowns. People had nothing to do. They weren't going to their work, and everybody flocked to the internet. There was so much more info on YouTube 10 years ago. Is that right? Well, you know what? It's probably true because a lot of people have complained that they weren't able to post anymore on their channels, and then they went to Rumble or BitChute or Odyssey, or started their own. Yes, Private Eyes, a Hall and Oates. Somebody's watching me. Yes, exactly. If we think about it, there are so many songs. Blondie, one way or another, they're gonna get you. They're gonna get you. I'm telling everyone I can, addressing this to my two boys, it's a bit harder. You know how that is, yes. 10 years ago was the golden age of learning. All the original channels have been scrubbed. Yeah, that's true. A lot of them are gone, or they're still there, um, but they're not posting anymore, and a lot of their content has disappeared, except for, a few videos. Yes. Oh, yeah. Conrad says, regarding tech such as Palantir, just imagine if they were ordered to fully disclose how they reach their business targets and outcomes. Yes. Yeah, the creepy voice. Yeah, Dr. Eric Hallstrom's, he's got a good website. It's called Gangstalking Cults, Targeted Individuals, Gang Stalking, and Cults, or something like that. And Romola D still has she still has her website, the Everyday Concerned Citizen, and she still is writing. Brian too, I think I heard he's in New Jersey. I think he was there for some medical issues. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, every a lot of things went to Rumble. Oh, Kevin, you wrote an interesting article on potential for suppression of the quantum phenomenon that occurs in the brain. Have you seen the most disturbing 911 theory video? They say the towers were hot with directed energy weapons. It gives all the details. Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the building was built for it to withstand what it did, and the way it just crumbled straight down, it was a planned demolition. Yeah, the creepy voices. See, I don't hear it during the live. I only hear it during the playback. Well, as far as 911, there is a, what's her name? Deborah Tavares. If you look up Deborah Tavares, she has information. I think it's called Stop the Crime, stopthecrime.net or stopthecrime.org. Really, that's so interesting, River Bluff. Epstein had a painting of George W. throwing paper airplanes at two towers. That's so weird. Kevin, if you have a link to your article, you can post it in the chat. Let's see. There was no planned demolition. It was energy weapons. Oh, really? It was energy weapons. Hi, LC. Welcome, welcome. Oh, there were no planes. It was so bizarre. You know, it's like I've realized that everything that we've learned historically is a lie. I mean, even the sinking of the Titanic, that was all a lie. It's not that it didn't sink, it's that a different ship sunk. They switched the ships intentionally so that those rich people would lose their lives. I mean, talk about targeting, annihilating competition and stealing their wealth. Hi, Shelly. Welcome. Shelly says, I used to have a list of TIs who do the call ins for support. I don't pay attention to any of those things, Shelly. When I entered the targeting community, allegedly, like in 2017, I used to get on all those calls because I wanted to learn and educate and listen to what other people were experiencing. But I do not get on those calls at all anymore. I think I stopped around 2000 and I don't know, about 2.5 years ago. I actually moderated one of those conference calls for 2 years. 33 a watch. 30. I see on my end it says 35. Yeah, the calls don't go anywhere. They never go anywhere. I think they just data collectors. That's how I see it. And also, it's almost like they play good cop, bad cop. They pit targeted people against each other. It's too dramatic on some of those calls. I mean, every once in a while there'll be some, they'll have a guest, in an interview or something like that. Um, but I don't get on those calls anymore. They solve nothing. There's a lot of infighting and a lot of perps getting on those calls. So no, it's too stressful. So there was I wanted to look for something that somebody was asking for earlier. One second. There was something I wanted to read to you guys also. Something, a response that I received on Quora. If I'm silent, it's because I'm trying to switch screens and my laptop is extremely slow. And like right now, it's freezing up a little bit. 1 second. Okay, this is it. 1 second. There's somebody on in my laptop right now, preventing me from doing things. Okay, so there, on Quora, I posted Joe, one of our subscribers, Joe, female Joe in Missouri. Joe's update: ex-military advice to targets. Targets are non-conformist, being gang stalked, parking lot danger, etc. So I posted her video on Quora, and I received this response. This is a spiritual war waged in the physical on God's chosen children. People are manipulated by their own sin, shortcomings, past hurts, and trauma to become hunting stalkers. Whether they know or unknowingly they are doing that, they are participants. They are sold out losers, lost souls. There are millions of narcissistic people easily persuaded to do the bidding of pinning people against each other for pathetic material gains. Gains that give no real value, only to impress and hopefully gain them attention that they do desperately need and want. Meanwhile, they look at the chosen ones with jealous, hateful eyes and want to help the principalities in high places destroy their fellow mankind. In the end, they are headed to their final non resting place in hell, where material gains have no place or bearing. The Watchers are demons, and everything they do is a mimic of God's laws and rules. I was awakened in 2017 to a spiritual war that changed everything inside and outside of me. My eyes were opened and the veil lifted. My community began to band together to stalk and harass me. My car was and still is constantly under attack. Strange quote unquote stars are hovering over my property, at least 20 nightly, with dew rays visible during the day. Helicopters and drones fly frequently. A directed sound machine was placed somewhere in the woods of my backyard to try to drive me crazy with sounds of dump trucks, motorcycles, ambulance, fake animal cries. All noises were amplified and duplicated. I figured if they want to drive me crazy with sounds, May I drive them crazy as well? Praise and worship outdoors for hours on end. What beautiful worshiping sound to cover their wicked sounds. My telephone line, cell phone, and all electronics are hacked. Attempts to steal my identity. I have watched occult groups such as Freemasons, EMS ambulance, police, veterans, military, and others with ties to these groups join in daily for stalking, harassment, and plots while driving to try to cause accidents. The woman in front of my home has a son who's a cop. Somehow he's gained a car almost identical to my vehicle. He brings the car over and parks it in the driveway for a few hours at a time. He signals to help teams target me while driving. This is purely demonic. Thank God for my angels. God's grace and mercy has been upon me. I'm a female. I'm only 5'2". And it takes all of this to try to shake and try to delete me. I realize it's not about me, but what I possess. The kingdom of darkness is trying to eliminate God's children. God is building his own growing an army. The war has been waged. These are the end times. Jesus is coming back. How many watch the X Files? The government always had hidden information on special circumstances and people. I was a sci fi buff, and for good reason. This was to help gain understanding. Many sci fi shows had hidden knowledge on these current times, as well as some movies. It's also related to bloodlines. Many of God's children have rare blood. All in all, turn to Jesus. He's the help we need. Read the living word of God. Use it. Stand against the rules and schemes of Satan and his minions and demon spirits. So that was an excellent commentary by this woman called Spirit of Everlasting Endurance. So let me scroll back and see what I've missed in your. Let's see. I agree with all that. Hi, Hi, Joe. Welcome, welcome. Uh, let's see. You watched 911 video where the beams were vaporized. Maroon cars are discounted if they help to maroon us with it. Oh, that's interesting. They surround you with giants and prisoners from the K County Courthouse. They target those straight out of prison to gang stalk. TIs for gift cards, food, clothes, and items to buy. They don't even hide it since the Gen Z era started, which was about the year 2000. Hi, Shelley. Welcome. Yes, yes, the Dodge Challenger is a car of gang stalkers. They also use Tahoes and pickup trucks. ISS South, the majority of them have no emotion, not capable, like a psychotic sociopath. And remember, oh, you're the evil one in their eyes. Oh, of course, yes, because we don't go along to get along. We're not sheepies. You were born at Fort Ord, California, when all those hippies did rituals on me because of my family. Oh, River Bluff, did you live in Greenville? You said it was a nightmare. I almost moved there. I was really considering moving there because of the location. And I figured, oh, you've got to be able to get employment there. There's Boeing. Boeing is there. There were a couple of other, I think it was Mercedes Benz had, oh, Columbia. Let's see, I'm missing like the thread here. Yeah, Greenville is supposed to be more family oriented. Is anybody here from Central Florida? Shelley wants to know. Anybody from Central Florida? There might be somebody from Florida who is listening because I know she tells me that she listens to the chat sometimes, listens to the live stream sometimes, but doesn't get into the chat. The Internet of Bodies is already controlling our minds. I forget many things that's important information. I just got hit in the head, by the way. They just pulsed me on the left side of my head. It can literally erase your memories. Does anyone else have this? No, the problem that I have is they knock me out. They put me to sleep. Okay, that video is from a TI that went to China. Cover my temples. How do I do it? What do I do it with? They have stolen 3 of my EMF hats. So I know that they were working because otherwise they wouldn't have stolen them. It doesn't take much to piss off these losers. They get their feelings hurt quickly. They don't negotiate. They don't. Oh, I just got hit again. DeLand, Florida. Well, I've got a magnet here. I'll just hold a magnet. Oh, the Faraday bag. Oh, that's a good idea. That's actually a pretty good idea. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get mine because my phone's not in it right now. All right, I'll be back. Let me see. I'll turn on some music so that people can hear it. 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yes, that's probably right, Shelley. Shelley says the video he did about the EEG heterodyning, that's how your main stalker listens to or sees your thoughts. They don't need your cell phone once the brain is mapped. And yes, the creepy voice is there. The creepy voice is here all the time. It's on my end. The creepy voice has hijacked. Oh, okay, let me see. You emailed me the ad. When Elon Musk does speeches or podcasts, he's reading something only he can see. You can see his eyes go back and forth. Like, what tech is he using? Oh, that's interesting. Yes, we do need to join together and give each other support. And they do everything inhumanly possible to prevent that from happening. Yes, Creepy Voice is a gang stalker. He needs to get his own YouTube channel. Creepy voice, creepy voice. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Elon has a link that information is being transmitted to him. I wouldn't be surprised. Net zero equals zero carbon equates to no humans because we are carbon and all life is carbon. That's interesting. That's certainly possible. With neural monitoring, they can hear and see everything you do. That's how they knew where I kept my checkbook. Watch Elon Musk on Joe Rogan podcast. It's close up and it's easy to see. Elon probably has the projection of a screen in front of him that we can't see. I mean, that's possible also. I mean, besides the fact, I mean, he's a really intelligent man. Okay, so somebody said that they were having difficulty finding the shorts and videos on the bombs that were placed on my property. So I'm going to post some of those links in the chat. They were all from May 18, 2025. Elsie says, my comments are not sending readily. Push button 2 or 3 times. Jill says, you have to watch what you're thinking at all times. Yeah, I have watched videos from Chase Hughes. He speaks about how they do mind control. Yeah, actually, I subscribed to him just recently. They use through the wall technology when he's sitting outside. Not a lot of future doctors in the gang stalking world. So I've got different angles of the videos of the grenade that was thrown on my property, or whatever it was that was thrown on the property. Somebody was asking about it so that they couldn't locate it on the channel. So I'm just going to post a couple of those links. Chase Hughes is my hero. I love that man. Watch his Friday lives. They are for his class, then he erases them. What if I were back in New Jersey right now? Well, I've said it before. First of all, I like New Jersey. It was my life there was a very convenient. I'd been in my house for 30 years. I mean, there were a lot of things I wanted to do that I didn't have the money to do. The property taxes were crazy. Um, but if I had stayed in New Jersey, first of all, my property values would have increased by $300,000, and I would have sued the Manalapan Police Department and the Township of Manalapan, and I probably would have won, likely with a gag order. But yeah, that's what would have happened. I like New Jersey. It's just too expensive. It's way too expensive, but it's extremely convenient. You lived in New Jersey for 19 years? Whereabouts, Shelley? Oh, yeah, those energy weapons. Yep. Oh, yeah. You have a good memory. You have a good memory, Jill. Yeah, every once in a while I get something good. You know what it is? I don't have time to really check my cameras. So there's probably, oh, Salem. Okay. So there's probably stuff there that I just haven't even seen yet. I just haven't had time. So I'm just going to post a couple of these videos, and especially for new people who may not who may not have seen them. Let's see. Lorraine is like that woman from Green Acres. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I need to get out of here. This place is nuts. Okay, now I want to search for something else. Let's see. Um, Now I just located an old video from 2022. I'll post it. So this is from, let's see. This is from 2022. One second. Let's see. Ahmed Mohsen was talking about the book. He had some ideas about where it might be and other things. Oh yes, yes, the puff energy weapon. When I was walking towards the mailbox, that was when that old guy drove onto my driveway. He wanted to sell me a walking cane. And then I said, did somebody send you here? And he said, yes. And then as I'm walking towards my gate, as he's driving out, a subscriber, I don't know if I should mention her name, slowed up the video and saw the energy weapons pointing towards me as he's leaving and I'm walking towards, you know, towards his vehicle. Here's one. Let me just open this in a new tab. This is one that I caught in New Jersey, and I just posted it in July of this year. I didn't even know what it was at the time, but this was caught in my yard in New Jersey. Saturday night karaoke at the Gangstalker trailer. Oh no! What happened? I think what happens with all of the technology being used against us is it depletes our adrenals. Yes, thank you for the reminder, Elsie. Remember to hit the thumbs up. I'm going to post the lovely prank, the Halloween prank that these criminals did, where they set up here. They set up like a direct TV, directed energy weapon thing facing my house. Oh my goodness! Hi, City of Fullerton gang stalking. What City of Fullerton? Where? What state is that? Hi, Amy. Welcome. Yeah, it's the adrenal drain, and also for anybody that has contracted Lyme, Lyme attacks the adrenal system also. The adrenals become exhausted. Shelly, I have a 501c3 nonprofit cat rescue. It's called Freya's Cat Rescue. I wish I could post photos or something in the chat, but let's see what I've got here. Oh, the Fullerton Informer. You know, I was subscribed to him, but sometimes he just goes on, and he always seems like very angry. So sometimes I have to take him in small doses. I don't know. I think he's in California, right? Oh, you're in California too. Okay, this video is from when I was in New Jersey caring for the cat colony. Let's see. Ahmed Mohsen works for the Coalition Task Force regarding TI stuff. Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know who he was. I only do lives on Saturday night. It's very difficult for me during the week. I've got so much going on with animals and deliveries and cleaning up and no, I don't know Ahmed. I didn't know. I don't know who he is. And there are literally so many targeted people that it's only like there's a one subscriber that will frequently send me an updated list of targeted channels. I don't even have time to click on all the links to see who's doing what. Are you moving? Hi, HM. Welcome. You moving to Bangkok? There was a New Jersey cat rescue lady whose house was screwed with all the time. The competitive cycle. Oh yeah, it's horrible. Well, well, they screwed with me big time. They were stealing my cats. They were placing them for adoption on Adopt a Pet. There was a woman named Maria in Barnegat, New Jersey, who was a bully psycho married to a cop who was stealing my cats and putting them up for adoption. She was so envious and jealous, and she is a gang stalker because I caught her leaving my development in her SUV on the day that my gate was left open in my backyard. I didn't I didn't do that. Where the stalker next door was sitting outside monitoring things, and my new shoes were stolen, and the cat door on my shed was cracked. So I guarantee she did that. But there were many, Shelley, there were many cat rescues in New Jersey that were targeted. And some of the alleged good ones were the worst. You know, the ones that have lawyers on their board to protect them from all the evil stuff that they do. Yeah, Shelley, that it's probably me. I was Freya's Cat Rescue was the only registered cat rescue in Monmouth County. My cat colony was registered with the health department, and all of the local people, they actually hated me because they call them community cats, and also because when I spayed and neutered them, I let them recover for longer periods of time when these other people would throw them outside and let them get sick and die out there. And that's basically what they did. I live in Kentucky, Jackson County, Kentucky. Yeah, I ended up buying a farm. Oh, well, it's so interesting that you know somebody in New Zealand. Hi, Leonard. Welcome. Oh, Alabama is Oh, too bad. Eden's living TV. She's being targeted like crazy. She's a whistleblower, and she's in Alabama. And also, Jessica Thomason, PhD. She's still being held against her will in a mental facility, and there's nothing wrong with her. And I will be doing a video about Jessica. I'll be creating her testimony on her behalf. Yeah, the South is. These people are nuts. Let me tell you. Yes, yes, heavy military and bunches of uh, NASA people following. Yes, that's exactly right. They're so evil. They are joyless. No, no, Tina Plackinger doesn't live in Kentucky. She's in Georgia. I'm pretty sure she's in Georgia. But she's in a rural area also. She gets the exact same stuff that I get. Yeah, she doesn't post very often. She was posting a lot more like when I was in New Jersey. And then I mean she'll get on every once in a while. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's in Georgia. She's definitely not in Kentucky. But since I've been posting videos about Kentucky, I think it was in the last 2 weeks, two more people came forward that they live in Kentucky. And when I post on other people's channels and say that I'm in Jackson County, Kentucky, then I'll get other people to chime in. They're like neighbors, not neighbors like in the county, but neighboring counties. Yeah, Treading on Serpents. That was her book. Yes, they did it to you, saying that you were having illusions. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yes. What are they called? We're delusional. We're crazy. We're schizophrenic. We appear like the Manalapan police says. She appears to be paranoid. I guess people are more willing to do this to others in the South. At first, I thought it was just plain racism since I'm not from here, G Rod says. Well, there's a targeted woman in California who texted me. I guess it was 2 weeks ago that she's moving out of the country. I heard that Florida is just a bad state for the stalking. I guess every state is bad. I think that maybe some cities are better or worse than others. I mean, everybody who's ever commented about Kentucky has said that when they come through Kentucky, their stalking increases. That Kentucky's really bad. Florida is where gang stalking started. Is that true? HM says targeting is less in Thailand. Do I have any merch for my cat rescue? I the only merch that I have are I created buttons, button pins in three different colors. I tried to do a merch shop, like to get T-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff, and each time I tried, I kept getting blocked from uploading stuff. So I think because the logo that I created, people really like it, and I think that the shirts would sell. I'm gonna have to try it over again. I think it has a lot to do with my laptop also. But let me see if I've got a link to anything. I've got an eBay store. Let's see. Let's see. I just read an email because subscribers send me links to videos, and there was one today that I clicked on it and it says video is no longer available. And she says, I enjoyed your video about gang stalking because it's exactly what's happening to me with the animals, panties, socks, toilet paper, washing powders, and on and on. She says, I want this to stop so bad! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. So sometimes when I click on links, I don't get there because my laptop is running low on memory because these criminals have done something to it. California is terrible. I drive for a living, and these losers come out of wherever I go. Oh, Elsie says delusional here also. One of the fellow TIs I speak with just left Ohio to stay out in a tent in the woods of Kentucky. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The voice is the voice is having an episode. You try to warn him. Oh, that's not a good idea. I'm going to say why it's not a good idea. Well, we have wildlife here. Hi, Kate Vicky. Welcome, welcome. We have wildlife here. You don't want to go like living in the woods. Besides the fact that we have a lot, there are a lot of witches here, and they hang out in the woods. These are sick people. They're really sick. I spent 2 days picking up their bitchcraft and burning it. Let's see. Vicky says, Kingdom Living channel in Thailand now is being a gang stalk, but said he's just rolling with it, maybe less intense. Somebody told me that when you go to other countries, that the gang stalking is less because of the language barrier. That they still get hit with the energy weapons and all that stuff, but the actual stalking is less because of the language barrier. Oh, that's interesting. That he was saying that he didn't hear V2K for a week now. The creepy voice, he just inserts himself into all of my live streams, any Zoom meeting, my cameras. These are my gang stalkers. You know, these losers that have nothing better to do with their lives than interfere with mine. Because they all want attention. They didn't get enough attention as children, so they want attention. Yeah, that would be really interesting, SCL. Because I know when I moved from New Jersey to Kentucky, there was a period of time when my eyesight reverted back to normal. My hair started looking better again. Everything that was happening to me in New Jersey reversed itself back to my normal healthy self. And then after I moved into this house, it all started up again. So I would say from like the end of May through all of June until the middle of July, and then it started really picking up again. Yes, my live is Saturdays, 10 p.m. Eastern time. It's from 10 until midnight. And sometimes it goes a little over. Yeah, from 10 until midnight. Every once in a while, like if there's an emergency, let's say, if there's like I did a couple of live streams last winter because the weather was so weird that I just got on live just to have something recorded so that I wouldn't have to like record it and then upload it. So I did that a couple of times, but generally I don't have time. Conrad says, let's see, I just missed it. Have you seen the documentary about the 8 dangerous families in Kentucky? It was terrifying. They were conducted at a university and involved in medical research. Oh no, I have not seen that. No. But other targeted people send me Kentucky videos. Let's see. A guy in China suggested that change in intensity of targeting in foreign lands has to do with their use of satellites. Oh, okay. Well, I know a lot of people are moving to Thailand. Like even some people on TikTok. I don't know if they're targeted people, but I know entire families were moving out of the United States and going to Thailand. And you know, Hope and Sivan Rivers, they moved to Morocco years ago. Let's see, I think it's safe to say, in terms of recruitment, the lower income decile communities, there would be a higher population of perps. I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. And I've said this before, like New Jersey, like where I lived was upper middle class. You know, the houses were a half a million to $1 million plus. And the people that got involved in harassing me were mostly like local business owners, like the landscapers. and the neighbors that they moved in. But my old neighbors, they convinced to harass me weren't harassing me at all. They just ignored me. Monaco sounds nice. Does anybody know anything about Portugal? I've never heard that there's any targeted people in Portugal. And then I don't know what it is, but all on the advertisements that I get that pop up all the time, I get shorts for Switzerland. Like they're targeting me for Switzerland. Metal blocking or shielding. Let's see. Someone said that they're finding relief with Moo, MU metal blocking or shielding. I've heard of that. Moo metal. North Korea sounds great. Kim Dong Yoon, yeah. If you're okay, hi, welcome, Kevin. If you're not very rich, forget Monaco. Oh, Morocco, Morocco. You hope and Savon, they have a YouTube channel. I mean, she goes as Hope Girl, and she's got a newsletter. Let's see if I can find one in my inbox here. One second, because I receive something from her every day. Let's see. Let's see. I have her a file for her. Let's see. One second. Okay, so she goes as Hope Girl, and her blog is. I'll just post it in the chat. And this is okay. So this is in case you're interested in. Okay, and this is a good book, by the way. They wrote this book for Forbidden Tech, and I've read some of it on the channel. And let's see here, and here they are on BitChute. One second. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, you need to search for a job in North Korea. Who's Pete? Okay, I'm missing something. I have new appreciate becoming at least he's honest. Peterson preferred pretends to be something he isn't, like our government does. Yes. Oh, is that true? Oh, Jordan Peterson. Okay. I wasn't sure what you were talking. North Korea resists masonry. A very low presence of masons there. Hi, Battle. Welcome. Oh, Jordan Peterson is brilliant. I like him actually. I mean, I don't agree with everything he says, but I find him to be fascinating and very helpful to for younger generations of people. He went through hell with pharmaceutical, which I won't talk too much about, with having horrible akathisia with some medication he was taking. They had prescribed him benzodiazepines because his wife was going through like cancer treatments and stuff, and he was depressed over it, and so yeah, they exactly they got to him, and they literally took him out for a while. Exactly. Jordan Peterson changed after his reset for speaking out in Canada. That's exactly right. Yes, Kevin, she's really good. She and her husband, Tivan, they're the ones that are in Morocco. They moved to Morocco years ago, and they create orgonite, and their book is really good. The Forbidden Tech book, I have it here. I've read it a few times. They talk about the patents, and let me see if I could find it on here. Okay, yeah, so I started reading it in on the channel in 2023. I'll post a link for you guys.